Hey there, how you doing? Glad you can make it. I'm very glad to be here online and welcome to this short Lightshark product presentation. Now, please bear with me. This is my first live streaming experience, so I hope I don't screw this up. My mic is on. Technically, you're all hearing me. So what I'll be doing in the next few minutes is I'll be taking you through the different Lightshark products, and I'll also give you a quick run through of how it works. Now, obviously, this is not a full tutorial because I don't have the time to do that, but there is a lot of resources out there online. If you go on YouTube, type Lightshark and whatever it is you want to know, you'll find a full tutorial there, sure. And also, I'm going to put my email address up here so that if you guys have any questions, email me directly and I will answer you in a very short period of time. I was going to do a question and answer period at the end of this presentation, but I figure that might not be a good idea because there seems to be a slight delay in the broadcast. So I prefer that we communicate through email. That way I can answer right away. Okay, so Lightshark products, I want to talk to you about the company. The company is in Spain. So Lightshark is a division of Work. A lot of you might already know the lifters from Work. So this is a division that make lighting consoles. These guys came up with a concept that's unique in the world. So it's a web-based console, but it has its own Wi-Fi signal. So it's a closed network and you communicate with it through your own pad or your own laptop. And I'll explain that in detail in a few minutes. If you'll give me a few seconds, I'll move over to the showroom and we'll begin the presentation. So going through the different Lightshark products, we'll start with the flagship console, which is the Lightshark LS1. So this is a full-scale console. We're going to go through the surface quickly like this. There's 10 faders, playback faders, and there's a master fader right here. And then you have 4 encoders, and these are all your buttons. We'll go through these later. These are all your commands. And above each fader, you have a choose button here, and you have play. And you also have a bump button at the bottom here. Over here, above your master fader, you have your page buttons, and you have your blackout button right here. Now on the right, just under your encoders, this screen here displays what's actually in your encoders. And these buttons here help you choose what parameters you want to work on. If you want to work on intensity, you'll choose this one. If you want to work on, let's say, gobos, then you'll take this one. And at the bottom here, you have your find, clear, and record buttons. So we're going to go through these in detail. At the back of the console, this is where it's fun. So this is where you hook up your power cord, your on-off button. This is the antenna that emits a Wi-Fi signal, and I'll explain that later. Here you have 2 USB ports. So one is for data, for backing up and reloading shows and updating the software. And this one is simply power, if you want to power up your screen or whatever it is you have connected to it. Now over here you have your Ethernet connector, and then here you have your 2 physical DMX outputs, and you have 3 and 5 pin for convenience. And over here you have your little light output. This is actually a 5-volt output, so you can't put a regular 12-volt little light in there. You have to order one from Lightshark. Okay, so that pretty much covers the LS1. Then we'll move over to the LS node, which is basically exactly the same thing as an LS1. So same brain. The only difference is it's in a little convenient box, so you control everything from your pad. On this one, you also have 2 DMX outputs. They're only 5 pin, of course, from lack of space. and you have your Ethernet output, your power in connector, and over here you have your USB connector, and then you have your buttons to be able to set it up. And then we have the node. Now the node it's basically an ArcNet node. So what it does, it gives you additional DMX outputs. So on the front you have your Ethernet connectors in and out, and after that in the back you have your physical DMX outputs, which you can use as ins or outs. It's depending on how you configure it. Now this is a node 2. There are actually 3 different types of nodes. There's a node with 1 output, this one's with 2, and you also have a 4 output version. So this is actually a regular ArcNet node. So you can use it with Lightshark, of course, but you can also use it with any other type of console that sends DMX through Ethernet. Okay, so I'm going to show you how this thing works. Now, I'm doing this with the LS1, but it's the exact same thing with the LS Core. It's just that you don't have all the buttons and knobs here. You do everything from your screen. Now the screen, this is the magical part here. The screen is your own screen. There is no screen that comes with this board, so you will want to use your own pad. Now this can be an Android pad, an iPad, it can be a Windows pad, or even your laptop will do the job. Actually, even your phone. Anything that has Wi-Fi and that has a browser can talk to this console and control it. So I'm going to stick my Android pad here, which is an old pad. I got it for my 50th birthday. I'm 56, so you can see that you don't have to have a recent pad. Switch it on. I've already turned on the console, so this thing is actually up and ready to go. So let's unlock this pad here, and the first thing you want to do is go to your Wi-Fi settings. Okay, so now we want to connect to Wi-Fi. As you can see, the Lightshark Wi-Fi network is there, so I'll just choose that one and enter the password, which is Shark Jaws. Let me write that, Shark Jaws. Now this is the default password, but if you want, you can change the password. And if you ever forget your password, you can always hardwire your computer to the console via the Ethernet port, and you'll be able to bypass the password and get right into it. Okay, so that's done. We're connected. Good. Let's leave this. And normally you'll hit your Chrome thing, and you'll type in the address of the console, which you see on your display here says 2.0.0.1. They're all the same, so you don't have to worry about that. Just hit go, and technically it'll connect to the console, and that's how it works. And then you'll want to save that as a desktop icon. Why do you want to do that? Well, of course, you want you want to have the shortcut, but you also, what's cool about it is when you do have that shortcut here, it opens up full screen. So that's a lot more fun. So let's go into this console. All right. Okay, here we go. Now, what we want to do, first things first, we want to go into the menu, and we want to start with a new show, of course. So the menu is the 3 little dots on the top left here. And once you know that, the rest of your life becomes much more simple. So you hit those 3 dots. At the same time, you can check if it's the latest version, software version. Right now it is 1.3.38. That's good. If not, you can always update that. Now, I'm not going to go through every little detail of the console. This is just a quick run through. Once you got acquainted with it, if you need to know something specific like updating the software or anything else that I'm not covering today, just go on YouTube, hit Lightshark and whatever it is you're looking for, and you'll find a tutorial video. There's a ton of them out there. All right, so let's just start with a new show. So we'll hit New, and if I close the menu here, bam, my console is empty. So let's just go a quick run through of the screen here. So what you have, there's different tabs here. So what you have here is palettes. This is the one you'll most likely be working on. This shows you everything your lights can do. It also gives you groups here, and you have your playbacks, and you have all the buttons that you have on your console here. You'll find them on the screen also, which is the reason why you can do everything from the screen and you don't have to have necessarily the interface. So the LS Core will give you that. All right, so the other page here is virtual playbacks. This is the same thing as this here. So as you see, when I'm raising up my faders, I can see them raise up on my screen. The fun thing about it is that technically you only have 10 faders physically, but in reality you have 30. You have 3 pages of that. See, if I go on the second page, it gives me fader 11 to 20. If I go on the third page, it gives me fader 21 to 30. Or I can just slide them like that if I want to. So I've got technically 20 more virtual faders times 30 pages. You fill that up, call me. I want to know how you program. Okay, so cue list. This is where all your cues, you'll be able to go have a look at your cues. You'll be able to organize them. You'll be able to set your fade times, and you'll be able to go inside your cues and modify things. You'll be able to see every fixture, what's in there, and what they're doing, and you can modify that directly inside the cue list. Then you have your executors. I like this page. Executors are simply triggers. So if you put a cue here, you just hit go, and the cue will operate. So you have 2 pages of executors. This is a lockable page, which means at midnight when the band's done and I want to go home, I just stick a bunch of cues in that page, lock it, give it to the DJ, say, have fun, man, see you tomorrow. So that's my favorite page. And then you have the program output, which is basically whatever you're working on shows you what is outputting from the console, whatever you're doing live. All right, so let's go back to palettes. So this is our home screen, and we're going to do something that we normally do. We're going to patch some fixtures. So let's go into the menu here, and we'll go into patch. Now, here I have three tabs. So this shows me the patched fixtures. Now, since this is a new show, of course, there are no patched fixtures. If I want to add a new fixture, I go here, and then I can choose whatever fixture I want to add. And the other thing here, this is a fixture editor. Now, technically, when you go into add fixtures, all the manufacturers are there, all the lights are there, blah, blah, blah. You should find what you're looking for. But if you happen to have a fixture that is not in there and you don't have time to wait, and you want to create your own fixture, it is very simple to do so. Go into the fixture editor. You can either create a fixture from a fixture that already exists and you can just modify it, or you can create a brand new fixture. But I don't want to do that because what I have there are GLP fixtures. So let's go to G, choose GLP. And what I have there are impression bar 10s, X4 bar 10. There it is. Now got them in compressed mode because I'm a lazy guy. I don't like to have too many channels. So I've chosen my fixture. I've chosen the mode. Now I go to this side. Technically, if I hit patch, it'll patch both fixtures at whatever address is available. If I want to be more specific and I want to tell the board where I want to patch them, I just open up this switch here, and I can choose my universe, I can choose my start channel, and if I want to leave some space between the lights, I can also choose an offset. But universe 1, channel 1 suits me fine, so let's just tell it that I have 2 of these guys and patch this. Done. See my lights there? I think they got it. All right, so let's exit this patch thing. Just grab the lights and hit find. What does the find button do? You have it on the screen. You also have it on your desk here, so it's all the same buttons. What does find do? Find is like a home. So it just opens a light, brings it 50-50, and it shows you that it exists. So after that, I have all my parameters here, and they're also here. So if I want to play with the position, I go to position, or I could have hit it here on the console, same thing. And then my encoder wheels, within this screen here, which is not a touch screen, by the way, this tells you what your encoders do. Now, since this thing only tilts, there's only one encoder that's active, which is the first one, which says tilt. So if I turn this, I have control over my lights. All right? And then I have all my other parameters, like if I go to beam, I have a zoom on this thing. So I can play around with my zooms. And there we go. Oh, this is funny. One is backwards. No big deal. Okay. So now I have control of my lights. Now, if you look on the left side of the screen here, these are groups. So when I hit this, I actually grab both lights at the same time. Now, if I want to select them one by one, I just go one down here to fixtures, and then I can choose one at a time and then do different things with it. Okay, so now I go back to groups. I choose both of them. Let's say I want to take the position, turn it towards me a little bit so I see what they're doing. And then let's add some color in there. Now, if I go to color, now you'll see I have 4 encoders here. If there were more, I could actually scroll up. There's actually more. There's CTO and there's all sorts of stuff in there. So I can scroll up, or I can use this color button here and just scroll through the pages. Now I have access to all my colors, and over here it says my last button here is white. So if I remove the white, and then I remove the blue, then I remove the green, and I'm stuck with red, which is pretty much what everybody's lighting up their buildings with nowadays. Okay, now the other thing that's cool is you have palettes here. Now palettes are presets. So if I want to choose a specific color, I can do that. Okay, the other thing that's very cool about this light is the picker. So you can actually go right in there and choose directly whatever color you want. All right, let's say I like this. I want to create a cue with that. Very simple. Record, choose a slide, stick it in here, done. If I clear this, I just raise my fader, and there goes my cue. Okay, that's it for today, people. Thank you very much for being there. As you can see right here, you have my email address. You have any questions, send me an email. I'll be more than happy to reply to your email or call you or have a Zoom conversation with you and help you out with whatever you need. So thank you very much for being there, people, and have a great day.